just joined us, you're still on to Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's get to our conversation for today. APC crisis over Tinubu's Shettima 2027 ticket, and we have it that tension rising within the All Progressive Congress APC over the speculation that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu may drop Vice President Kashim Shettima ahead of the 2027 election. As a stakeholder meeting in Gombe, violence erupted when the APC Northeast Vice Chairman Mustafa Salihu failed to mention Shettima in his endorsement speech for Tinubu. Angry delegates chanted Shettima's name and physically attacked Salihu, accusing party leaders of plotting to sideline the vice president. Despite reassurance from the Northeast governors and the APC leaders like Abdullahi Ganduje that the Tinubu Shettima ticket remains intact, the omission has deepened mistrust. Some delegates could lead to mass defection with threats to support opposition candidates Atiku Abubakar. Several party officials from the region have voiced strong support for Shettima, calling the rumored plot an insult to the northeast of Nigeria. President's aide and party spokesperson have dismissed the rumor, insisting there is no rift between Tinubu and his vice president. However, internal disagreement and the silence of key leaders at the Gombe meeting have fueled the speculation of a deeper crisis, observed one that if unresolved, the issue could fracture the party ahead of the 2027 presidential election. I am being joined today and this morning by a great citizen, a senior citizen. I'd love to thank you so very much, sir, for being here. We truly do appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so we have Ajola Shotoin. Thank you so very much once more, sir. We truly do appreciate you, sir. So let's get talking on yes. So let's get talking on this particular issue here. I do not know. You saw the viral video of what happened in Gombe. One would say it's like things are beginning not to be the same again. What do you say about that?
Well, ordinarily, that should not concern an average Nigerian. Because for us as Nigerians, governance is about security of lives and property. Just this weekend or last weekend, over 200 citizens like us were murdered by terrorists. And of course, that has been on for years now. It has also been updated, aggravated by now. Hunger everywhere, mass hunger everywhere. Flying inflation have made prices beyond the reach of average Nigerian. So ordinarily, we should be bothered with what government, either is Shettima, Tinubu, or whatever, what they promised at their failure, and now we can rescue that failure. That should be a fundamental concern. However, because we cannot pretend not to see what is happening, we need to talk on that, perhaps for academic sake, not for governance sake. Well, Tinubu has a record of totalitarianism. Is a totalitarianism. And of course, beyond, look at his record in Lagos State as governor. He's the only governor in the whole of this country that used three or four deputy governors.
Actually, it was three.
First
He had changed. He had had three deputies in the 8 years he was the governor of Lagos State.
Exactly. Exactly. So invariably, you ask yourself why. Bokno, Oforola Bokno, who was a core Nadeko, a core Afenifere person, was his deputy. A woman, he could not tolerate the woman. The woman left. Another deputy governor came. He could not tolerate. He left. He picked another one. So what that means is that he has been a man that wants to rule as a civilian dictator. It's either you bend to him or not. And it's not just now that we are seeing Shettima wanted to be displaced or something like that. It has been from day one. Tinubu has been playing the role of a vice president all along. So we are pretending that we don't know. Nigerians telling that we don't know. And so government.
Mr. Shoyinton, are you still there? All right, so we were actually talking about the rift, possible rift.
Second term should be the concern of any serious government.
Okay, I think we're having a little bit of glitch there, and we're actually speaking.
Go to Abuja, sign us there for second term. What nonsense! Are these people mad? Are they normal? They are not normal. Governance is a covenant. You start covenant with people, and they are not performing. And what you want, what you want in life, what is occupy your mind, is how to come back. Your good work, if any, will speak for you. I'm surprised that the sitting president has already been over publicizing, overdoing, over campaigning, directly or indirectly, even than those candidates that we don't know now that are going to contest against him. That shows insecurity. That shows indictment that they have not performed. We've been on in this country for some long time. Showw Shagari didn't start campaigning until after 3 years. That was the first elected president of Nigeria. He didn't start campaigning after 3 years. So what is the... it's only Gaduku people, gangsters, that will see power as everything. That will see power, they hate power, they drink power, they think about power, not governance, not service, not sacrifice. So it's sickening. So it's sickening. Nigeria have to be confronted with this kind of thing. Honestly, it's sickening. You are not performing, you are not delivering, and you are just preoccupied. People are dying with power. Power. What for? Are they crazy? What for? It's annoying. For an average Nigerian with conscience, with common sense, people cannot go to school. People are dying, killed. Kidnappers are kidnapping people everywhere. The government, the president has not come out to address us and reassure what was going to happen. In Plateau, massacre. In Benue, massacre. In other states, kidnapping everywhere. So does that not make sense? We have a terrible flood that took over 1,000 people around in Mokwa. People are still being searched for. People are being looked for their family. The president was not there. Was not there to at least sympathize. And these are the people, I remember vividly, that were condemning Obasanjo when the Ikeja bomb blast happened. That he didn't come on time. I was part of those who accused Obasanjo of negligence of duty. Because an average Nigeria, and every citizen of Nigeria, is more important. You cannot save lives. You cannot. Now, see what happened. Look what happened. Physically was not there. He said, I'm sleeping by the time he was there. Of course, look at Plateau Benue massacre. And you are giving only orders. That you have given orders. You have not sacked these people. You have not told them to perform. Because the president himself is not performing. Because the president himself is failing. While the nation is burning. So
okay, just to digress.
So rottenness.
Yeah, just to digress, Mr. Shoyinton, I truly do appreciate your concern, especially with regards to the non-performance of the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But if I might ask, you seem to be someone that understands the trajectory, the history. How was it like as the governor of Lagos State? Did Bola Ahmed Tinubu perform as the Lagos State governor between 1999 and 2007?
Well, I've been in Lagos since 1976, so I know Lagos. I'm from Abeokuta. So it's not about gambling or writing a story. I didn't know. I'm part and parcel of Lagos State since 1976. So I know performance when I see it. Bola Tinubu's performance in Lagos was too exaggerated. It's propaganda. It's total propaganda. I'm telling you. What? By the time Bola Tinubu was leaving Lagos, students are still writing, sitting, listening to teaching. Some of them, including Kenya state government, we did, a campaign against that, sitting on the floor. No roof in classes, of many classes in Lagos. The income Lagos was generating was more than 5-6 states in Nigeria. So Lagos should have been a model like Dubai for Nigeria to see. Is it on the road? There were times that they have to place signboard on the street, on the road, that these are government, federal government work. It was when the campaign against him was so much that he had to double up and start leveling some roads and doing cut and paste. Tell me, workers, throughout his tenure, he continued to have crisis with labor, led by Ayodele Kelly. And what happened at the end of the day? He sacked the man. The man died based on that. Tell me, what was the state of health in Lagos? He put us something where they call master plan. Governance beyond myself. I have led in many instances. And I know what it means. It was Fashola. They say he was relying on what do we do for 8 years? Fashola and the other guy, Ambode, that were giving some little projects that were visible. Okay, he constructed a BRT lane. And you want to say they said develop Lagos. And I wonder, because I was in Lagos during Kakonde retreat. This is a man that spent just 4 years, and we have legacy project 48. Kakonde did Lekki Epe Road. The one they expanded now and started connecting to before we disagreed on that. They built waterworks in Lagos State. They built television. They built schools. Kakonde built many low-cost housing estates. I never named anything. On his name. Never. All you are saying, Kakonde estate, Kakonde. It was after he left office. So it's not about performance. It was just like any average person. In fact, when you look at the scale, I was in Lagos. Even when some little governments are there, you can see performance. But the way he was doing it is more of propaganda. Much propaganda. Don't forget, some of the Lagos boys media are in his pocket. But outside Lagos, I was with Unpaid as one of the media crew when he was governor of Ogun State in 98. I could see performance. And modesty. With Unpaid, Ogun State, TV, the radio station, he tried to expand it. Ogun Police tried to expand everything. Waterworks, markets. I almost say to people that, look, if not because Kakonde was in Lagos, performance of Unpaid State and on net, on electrician and net, to me, better. They both perform. I was a bit close to Oyo State too, when Bola was there. So when you see perform, when you say they built Lagos, most of them go and look at it. It's either they are one of their properties or those who don't live in Lagos.
But how about the instance? Yes,
Yes,
Mr. Showington, how about the issue that he increased IGR in Lagos during his time in office? Because he actually was the one that started the yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That Lagos should have been a model by now, like Dubai, because it was able to increase revenue, no doubt about that. But what happens to that revenue? It's been increasing revenue now in the federal. Don't you know? As the increasing revenue is the school fees has continued to increase. They talk about student loan. I don't know how many are able to get it. It's still less than 10% of the loan. And of course, the moment they announced the loan, instead of doing a grant or bursary award for the student, the moment he announced that, schools started increasing, including model schools. Model colleges started increasing their fees. So it's just a fraudulent way of increasing fees with a diversion that there will be a student loan. Of course, it has increased here too. We are not talking of like foreigners. See what happened to oil. See what happened to product and prices. See what happened. My daughter just slept in a private clinic for 2 nights. He paid 7,000 naira for malaria and slept typhoid. 87,000. Meanwhile, we should have done that. I'm on BP drug, have no amount spent. All the drugs have increased by price. All of our food materials have increased. So generating revenue is good, but it's terrible and bad when you are generating polluting. And that's why you see them now buying jets, moving around. While we are mourning, while we are angry, while we are hungry, they are just doing what they like because they have enough money. I will know what time. Look, generating money. I will know what said it. You don't tax people's property. You tax their wealth. What Tinubu is doing is just to tax people's property. Increasing everything. A lot of women are not working now. In my village, 2 women that used to sell and they have closed shop. One of them was trying to manage his life or her life by doing almost washing clothes of people. Is that normal? When you increase your revenue, people should enjoy it. What I would always say, they did not immediately increase taxes because people are poor. So what he did was to have a pro-people economic policy. And that was why they had these farm settlements everywhere in Southwest, free education, free health, and of course, try to buy off product for the farmers. And of course, in education, try to do a lot of rural development and rural integrated road, so that people who work will be productive. They started taxing. But this month, increasing price, the second day, tax everybody, third day, tax everything, 4 days, increase price. Now revenue is there. What do we do with it? You can imagine Lagos, Calabar, not a priority. Coastal Road, not a priority. I was in Osogbo about 3 days ago. You can imagine, after the Lagos Express, which were even diverted because of accident, after we are ready to Showw, come and see the road. By the time we got to after the express from Ibadan to Ife, no road. From Ife to Osogbo, after Gbogbo Express, terrible road. And from there, go take it. Go to Akure, go to Kogi. Like that. This should be your priority. But because they have their own economic agenda, why? You have to, in economics, that's what you call priority, that's what you scale of preference, that's what you call opportunity cost. But where they are going to have big money in their pockets, that's why they focus on bigger contracts. So it's not about increasing revenue. It's like a father which promoted in office and had more money. But that was the time the children are suffering. That was the time the children are dropping from school. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't make economic sense. Whatever economic policy or statistics they were banning about, economics is about people. You feel it. Your pocket will speak for you. Your dining table will speak for you. The market will speak for you. Not whatever they are speaking in Abuja. about increased revenue, increased. No, it's not about that. We are all part of this economic system.
Very, very true. So if I might ask you, Mr. Showington, you are an elder statesman, and officially President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says he is about 75. Some Nigerians would argue that he is far above 75 years old. Then the question is, why do you think that as the age that he is currently, why do you think he is more materialistic with governance rather than what we see him do?
Well, in Yoruba, we say when you say somebody is like that, he's a mystery man. Tinubu is a mystery man. And it's unfortunate that we have such a product from Yoruba land. Because we, Yoruba land, we pride ourselves as sophisticated, educated, people with character, people with ethics. We are more. So it's unfortunate that we have to be deflated because we send an unknown, or let me say, no, we didn't even send it, because an unknown entity that you cannot define.
Wow. I think we're having a little bit of a glitch, even if we're enjoying the discussion here. Yes, Mr. Showington, are you still there?
No matter my disagreement with that government, at least we went about this. So it's unfortunate, really. Age should be a simple thing. When our leader, I even went to court on the certificate, and I went some of the about this on here, and some of the other just some of the fairly people, and I said, this is a simple thing. Tell your man, you don't need to go to court. Tell your man to photocopy and put it at the councils at the Keja under bridge. It is the people that will tell people they are lying. You know, you don't need affidavit when you are governor, affidavit when you are second card for governor, affidavit when you are. So what role model is that? What role model is that? So I did not disagree with him. I mean, from day one on his neoliberal anti-people capitalist economic policy. No, my disagreement with him for him becoming president is on character. Look, we are very fine people in Yoruba land. And I asked those who are pushing that agenda. I said, look, forget whether it's going to win or lose. You are targeted. I went to Ife, I went to Kuti, I went to Poli, I went to Civic College of Broadcast Journalism. So I now ask people, look, before, can you employ somebody who says he went to his school and he didn't go to that school? Can you employ somebody who is used to affidavit even for age? So it's a problem of ethics, really. It's a problem of age certificate. Should not even about certificate age should not even be a thing that will cause problem for anybody that is sane and of designing mind. But we are in a situation whereby ethics have changed. The political terrible gangsters are now determining our ethics and our values to the extent that it can become contagious, even to respect people to be defending such laws. I will not, as a Nigerian, I will not defend such thing as a Yoruba man. Not for anything, because what kind of nonsense are you saying? I've asked some lawyers that have been servants that were defending that. I said, look, just want to make your money. You don't want to look at what's going to happen to Nigeria. All those young kids are looking at everybody. So if they go out now, I'll be asking that lawyer friend who is a repentant supporter, look, can you take somebody to as a lawyer to come to the chamber to work and come with affidavit of university right? Can you? It's not possible. So how do you want, so what you cannot accept in your chambers, what people cannot accept in their companies, how can you accept it for Nigeria? It means Nigeria is not living in their mind. You are talking of power. Because it means you don't love your nation. You only love your leader, your paymaster, your slave masters. That is the issue. In the 21st century, I cannot ask anybody now that, okay, which secondary school the Tinubu one? They will not answer. They will say, God has resolved that. You ask them, okay, he said he went to come and collect. He said no. You think of our lawyer? He said no. So now ask them. It's a permanent question. Whether he returns, whether he lives forever, whether he dies 10, 20 years, whether all of us die, it's a permanent question that people continue to ask. Which school? In fact, they even came with funny thing. The first of us, Papalola did not even went to school before it. And we pointed out for them that the senior lawyer, respected senior lawyer in Nigeria, Babalola, went to school. And I showed them, go and go do it. Go and go do it. And we knew how he moved from being a student in primary school and how he was able to get his law certificate. I will know he traced there. So how do we produce a leader when the nation, when the world is glowing with brilliant, known people, brilliant people that are very intelligent, brilliant people that you can trace?
Then the question is, Mr. Shointon, my question is, because you are actually one of a kind, is actually so strange that people like you are speaking truth to power and stating it the way it should be, as against millions of other people that are not saying the same thing or seeing it from the same light that you are seeing it from. My last question to you is, why then is it difficult for the Afenifere and other groups in the southwest of Nigeria, why is it difficult for them to call a spade and speak truth to power, then to ensure that such is the case and would not repeat itself again?
Well, Yoruba says something. Bibire, Ushefowora. That is, being born well, you can't purchase with money. Forget any name. Forget respect big name for nothing. What we are the Yoruba's. Don't forget, name that which platform it came in had ethics, the old Afenifere. In fact, all they stood for, basically, that people know them, is that they are modest, respected people, morals, of ethics and value, the Omoluabis. So he moved in, destroyed Afenifere, created new Afenifere. First of all, the Afenifere Noah group, that one failed. Later, he brought up an old man, unfortunately, to lead a faction. Later, that faction could not work. Also, young men that are backing that faction. So, invariably, he has too much money to silence people with their conscience, people that are not brought up well. It's not, don't forget, it's not about being elder or being old. I have been talking to power when I was in secondary school, even to my mommy, to my dad, and I like people who talk through to be on my legs. So what are we talking? You cannot be going to churches first and going to Mecca, going to Jerusalem, and can tell the truth. That's ordinary truth. That's one religion, value of religion. Politics. How? And important. I said no. So it's a question of bribing, selling their conscience, and of course it's a question of being intimidated at times. How you don't have a vibrant Afenifere as you used to be. You can see Babade Banjo. Even at his level, that was a typical Afenifere that we know. I work with Afenifere for the burial of the Rabajas, where we had this coalition of Afenifere, Nadeko, and society organization. I was the publicity secretary of that burial campaign, and I organized President Orlando. So I knew genuine Afenifere people, but of course he corrupted them, and he served them well, because there was a time in Bank Paper reporter asked Babadesha your blessed memory, where you have this kind of certificate scandal. The young man asked a simple question that Babadesha cannot ask. He said, "Sir, have you seen Tinubu's certificate? Have you called for him to present this again because Awolowo will have to sort that. Unfortunately, Baba could not. I read, nobody said, so I read the interview about those things. So what it means really is that if you don't call a spade, you're going to be part of that. And what did he do at the end of the day? He destroyed the organization. But he cannot destroy the ideas and values. Can Tinubu now host any alumni association of any school or host student of any school? Won't he feel bad? Won't he feel ashamed? Can he go and deliver lectures in secondary school and graduation or convocation? Even without asking, his mind will say, I'm in the wrong place. So it's about people. We are going to see a lot of. Don't forget, Ababaku sacrifices are created by each government. Every government, many you can see activists now, some of them that were, that time. What are they doing now? They have died. They have died not physically. They have died with their conscience. And of course, they have started decomposing. So that is, I think is it. I was student president in Ife. I went for a focus. And I spent 13 years. I was in prison. I was detained. So will I have that background? You think that was of exuberance? No, it's because of conviction. I'm a socialist. Even before I met socialism as an idea, I have studied leaders. I started reading my life by Awolowo when I was in class 3 secondary school. All this voice of reason, voice of music, voice of thought, voice of thinking, all his books. Later I graduated to reading Karl Marx, Nelson Mandela, Fidel Castro. These are great leaders. So it's a question of their background. That's why I don't respect people on the basis of their religion. I want to respect you on your ethics, on your value. I want to respect you on how you defend the truth. You can't force people to defend truth because they are born like that. They want to make money. As if all of us don't want to make money. They want to make name. As if all of us don't want to make name. But I will never support a man or a woman. I cannot beat my chest that this is his character. This is his value. This is or these are his certificate. I was born in 1961, August 29, at Abeokuta. So why should I hide that? Why should that be a controversy in the country? Why? So it's a matter of, and you see my problem is this. I hate president, bad president. Because in 2 years' time, we are going to have more terrible people coming to be president of Nigeria. And I hope those Yoruba and other Nigerians that kept quiet now will not shout that time, and the nation continue to destroy. So we are saying that many of them don't like their nation. They don't like Nigeria. Today they are nationalists. Tomorrow they are tribalists. So how can you trust people like that? It's unfortunate. I say it again that Yoruba people will be producing this kind of people. I'm telling you, I'm being frank. I'm being honest. That at times I look at it for God's sake. We that produce Awolowo, that wrote his thought on almost every aspect of governance, on federalism, on governance, on true production. Go and read Awolowo. You see, these are, even if you disagree with them, it's not that they don't have their own errors too, but at least they have errors based on
very
being
true.
human. And you have this to disagree or not to disagree. I'm sorry that this is happening during my lifetime. Sorry, like my friends, when Tinubu came up, I said, sure. I hope it's not that you call me too old in the world, because Yoruba used to say, if you spend so much on heart, you start seeing bad. Like, how can we at this time be doing this thing? And I said, how old are we? When we are going to 70. So it's unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, as go to affect values and ethics, even for the young children, because they don't have any idea. Now, how can you compare youths that they are Yahoo, they are 419, they don't have values? How can you compare them when leaders and they are role model and they have this kind of negative characters. It's opportunity, very opportunity.
Very, very true. Very, very true. We truly do appreciate you. And most importantly, we'd love to sincerely congratulate your sincerity, because you are one of a kind. You are one in a million, really, because at a time like this in Nigeria, where everyone seems to be standing on the mandate, people like you are really different and speaking truth to power and holding our leaders accountable. Some of the questions we truly do ask is, would these leaders of today, are they thinking about legacy? That's the question we ask ourselves. Pa Obafemi Awolowo, for the next 100 years, will still be remembered. And the question I ask is, will President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the next 50 years be remembered by students who might be studying history? That's the question that I think is very important that we seek answers to. Thank you so very much, Mr. Adjola Shoyinton, for being here. We truly do appreciate you.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah. So Mr. Adjola Shoyinton is a social activist and a veteran journalist, and he was here, of course, to talk to us and express his views on what is happening today in Nigeria. We hope to see him more on Enterprise Television. Thank you so very much once more, sir. We truly do appreciate you. All right, so that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you to you. Please do well to visit us. If you may, you can always find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Gwebike. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.